Hey everybody, welcome to the Dope and Tape Show. You're still holding it up. Are we good now? Okay, thank you.
I was telling you the number of the show. I was trying to give you the number of the show discreetly.
Yeah, 143. I got you. I was looking at your fingers. That was nice. I don't think I should ever say that again.
Yeah, good job. You should have just kept rolling with it. You should have just kept rolling at it. I gave you the 1, 2, 3.
Just let it go.
Welcome to the Dope and Tape Show.
Welcome everybody. Hey, we have Jared here. Jared is the designer. So this is gonna be cool.
Let me see. I wanted to add.
Jared, he's gonna show us some cool stuff. Like what is it? Like 3D. What do you call that? It's not 3D design, I guess.
Yeah, so we have 3D design program and then some coordination models with all the other trades in the building.
This is Jared, a designer from the Great Northeast.
Hell yeah.
Coming to you guys live. Thank you for joining. Whether you're watching us live or the replay, you are going to do what, Bri? Hit the like button.
Like and subscribe.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know if y'all forgot. We still have orders coming in, some, but we do have a spread shop. So if you want to support the movement and get you some Dope and Tape gear, wear it to work proudly. We appreciate it. Yeah, it's right above us, the link. You can also go to me and Bobby's Instagram page and our link in the bio. And yeah, man, get you some.
Get some, yeah.
Jared, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, of course. Looking forward to it.
Bobby was excited about this. He called me this morning and he was like, hey, we're going to talk about this and this. I was like, all right, man, let's go.
Hell yeah. Trying to give my guy a little heads up. So we're hoping to bring anybody who's just joining us. This is Jared from the Great Northeast. It is designer? Is that what we would say?
Yeah.
What would I say?
Senior designer, design manager.
The design manager. He's going to show us he's going to show us how it's done. I heard that you know, you can put the leaks on the print, right? You on the computer you put the leaks on, so if you don't put any leaks on, there shouldn't be any on the job.
Theoretically, you know.
Yeah.
It's always tough when fabrication messes up, but other than that, try to get it 100%.
Hell yeah. Okay. Let's see. Everything looks good on this side. Thank you guys for joining us. We do have deals at learning.firetech.com. If you guys ever are interested in that, there's some deals that Brian's going to tell you about.
Yeah, so we partnered up with FireTech. I'm very excited. We talk heavily about getting education on this show, and we're trying to make it where it's affordable with you. And so we have, let's see, what is it? NFPA 25, NICET level 1 course, and that's going to be, I mean, it's very extensive. I mean, it goes in just about everything that you would see on the test, and it also teaches you. It has pictures, has classrooms, it has tests, it has live proctors. You actually see a person in front of you showing you things, touching things, flowing water. And then they have tests at the end, and you can do those as much as you want. But it's only $185. You can do this test, sign up for your NICET, and get certified. Use discount code Dope and Tape.
Hell yeah. Good job. Hi, Janine, Joe, Eric, Big Country. Thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. Don't forget the sky hooks, boys. Yep. Oh, sky hooks too. Love those. Love me a good sky hook or two.
Yeah.
Everybody
Janine got new internet.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. So she's gonna be able to do it with
I
us.
spoke with Janine. She didn't tell me about the internet. What's up, Chandler?
She told me that she forgot. She did tell me that she talked to you this morning.
Oh, I'd love to know about the internet. Look at you. She had the first comment. Should be a prize for that. We should start making a prize for the first comment.
Tommy.
I wonder if we could do that. Make a prize for the first comment. Yeah, Tommy's been slacking. I think they give him a little bit of more of a workload. We're gonna have to touch base with him again one of these nights and see what's going on with him. If you're just joining us, this is episode 143 with Jared. We're gonna look at some 3D models, some sprinkler models, some sprinkler design. I'm probably gonna give Jared the whole. I'm probably gonna try to give you the whole view if I could. Maybe we could just start with like your background. You know, what happened out of high school and how did you become a sprinkler designer specifically?
Yeah, so long story, I'll keep it relatively short. My godfather, his dad started back in sprinkler design, I think in the 70s. He actually trained a bunch of the people in the Northeast, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, that area. Um, my godfather got into design. He has his own business doing subbed out design for mostly tenant fit outs, some coordination, that kind of stuff. My older brother did his senior project in high school, designed a sprinkler system for my parents' house. Never got installed, just design. Worked with them or worked with my godfather for several years, moved on to Simplex and other companies, and I followed in his footsteps. So, been designing for around 8 years now. I've been doing full-blown 3D coordination for around 5 years now.
Oh wow.
Okay,
Would you ever
awesome.
go independent?
It depends. I like the office environment, so I don't really want to leave that just yet. But I'm
Yeah.
still young. I'm only 28, so got
Okay.
got a decent while to go before I feel like I'm gonna be
Yeah.
comfortable enough to make that leap.
Where are you at certification wise?
Nice at 2. I just
I said
took
two.
that last year and gonna be pushing for 3 soon.
Well, congratulations.
Oh, good for
Yeah,
you.
Have
That's
you ever
appreciate that.
awesome,
used
man. You're
FireTech?
crushing it.
No, I haven't used FireTech too much. Most of our stuff is, just purely NFPA, so you get very used to reading the books and going back to the same chapters over and over.
Yeah. So FireTech has what's called pathways. So if someone wanted to become a designer,
Mhm.
they have classes and courses from level 1 all the way up to 3.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
three gets a little bit more, as you know, hands-on and kind of complicated, and so they do have in person, which is better for that level 3. But the 1 and 2, those courses on the computer's good.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 and 2 are pretty simplistic overall. Level 2 gets a lot more into project management as well. You get
Mhm.
both the project management end as well as design and criteria and that type of topic. But level 3, obviously, you go into the plans, laying out systems, making sure systems are laid out properly. And then you also have calculations, doing some hand calcs and, drawing up loops, calculating the loops and grids and all that wonderful stuff that nobody ever wants
Like,
to
how
do.
many elbows can I really add?
Depends on how big your pump is, Bobby.
How many 4-inch elbows can I really just add at free will,
Yeah,
huh? I can't tell you how many times I just cut in elbows and kind of just, just had at it. Like you have to. Like how else are we gonna do it?
yeah,
It's always been a big pump, but I know on some of these systems, you got to document the elbows, especially on the bigger mains, right?
yeah. We're working on. It's usually the smaller ones that are actually more impactful, to be honest. When you have large system means like 4 inch, 6 inch and up, uh, obviously you don't want to be throwing 20, 30 in there, but 10
Right.
usually barely makes a difference.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
But
that's
like I
good.
said, it
That's good to hear.
fully depends on your water supply. If you're, just street pressure going through, might have a little more issue. But if you have a fire pump, typically, do what you got to do.
Couple turbo diesels.
Yeah, why not? Put them in series,
Oh,
PRV, everything.
that's awesome. Yeah, so let's look at some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just moved some logos around and
Let's see what I got. First
oh,
off,
I
we'll
kind of like that better. Let me see if I can make
see
this
if I
bigger
can
too.
share. You've disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, my bad. My bad. You're right. All
We do that for
participants.
Bobby because we
All
really never know what he's
participants.
gonna pull
Okay,
Mm,
what? Such shit.
he'll pull up the really big pumps.
Okay, there you go.
up.
Should be good now.
Alrighty, I'm gonna share screen 3.
Let
Let's
me
go
see.
with that one.
Isn't that nice? Oh yeah, boom.
How does that look?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that
looking
looks
good.
good. I can adjust for that. Yeah, you do your thing, and then I'll just adjust on my end. I can just
Yeah,
move.
so this is one of my more proud moments. This is the Boston Terminal E expansion that we did.
Those are a couple
Um,
Metroflex expansion loops right there. Oh, look at the curve on
Those are
that.
yeah,
cool. Man, we've
yeah,
seen oh, that's wild.
yeah.
That
We
is.
it's basically a giant banana-shaped building. And one of the design issues we ran into early on was this is an early on picture. We can't really show all of the systems in the building due to security reasons, but
Understandable.
this was just us when we were installing, and I think there were 7 to 8 pipes that ran parallel down this corridor.
Looks good.
Obviously, with using 90s and jumping up and down to do
This is
swing
great because I,
joints.
I I can already do talking right here. So, good thing to take away right here is you can see that those Metroflex are connected by a little piece of angle iron, and I've seen a lot of guys that will cut that angle iron off before they install it, and it's doable, but it just makes it such a pain in the ass to work with. Keep that thing on until the last day, and then go and break them off.
Yeah,
I
especially with
like
the
it.
8-inch
That
ones.
yeah, that
Those
looks
are
good.
very difficult.
That looks good.
Yeah.
Nice install. Looks clean.
But yeah, we basically have just under a degree of deflection per
That's
flexible
they're
coupling.
it's all flex couplings, huh?
Yep, the entire way.
And what are they, like
Both
7-footers?
7-footers for both the 7 or for the 8-inch and the 6-inch run, yeah.
Oh, looks good.
Yeah, it was a very interesting install, that was for sure. We went through several iterations of design before we ended up with this, and this is one of my crown jewels. I really liked seeing this because it matched up to the model perfectly.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
good job. Touche.
But yeah, this was that was one of our first projects in the new program, so glad that worked out. Yeah, that's terminally super proud of that one. We then have
Whoa. Look at this thing.
that.
Boom. Oh, all right. He's in the model. Is the
Yeah,
model? You can like
I'm
zoom
just
in.
waiting for my other screen to load.
Let's see. Let me make sure we're
So
still coming in pretty good here.
I'll just get a
A lot of white.
yeah,
There we
a
go.
lot of white,
Boom.
but this is one of the bigger projects that we've been working on. This is over in Cambridge. It's a school. Um,
Cambridge is right across the river.
yeah.
Yo,
So
what up, Chad?
So how long does it take you to draw this?
from scratch, a while. You know,
How
typically we
much does
Tommy's here.
the system does it like pre-draw some or learn
yes
how you
and
draw them?
no.
Kind of like you like AI in a way?
No, so definitely no AI. We can get the Revit files from the design team who initially lay out the building and kind of use that as a placeholder. I don't typically like doing that because they like to invent fittings that don't exist, like 7-degree elbows or,
Right. So you really
27
get
degree
in here.
bends.
That's awesome.
So you get in here and you click, 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 click.
Yeah. Yeah. So we
and
always
and
start out by the
click and
street.
drag and color. Anyone who's just joining us is Jared. We're looking at some in-depth designs right here. These are 3D models. You can't mess this up. If you have access to this program, if your foreman has an iPad and he can see this, or she, you can't mess
Yeah,
this
this
up.
is
Look at
so
that.
cool.
There's not even
So
worth. It's
cool.
not. You don't even need to call. Which way does it go? What do you mean? Which way does it go?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the thing I really enjoy doing is giving sectional views of the more difficult areas.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
awesome.
you
A
see
guy will
where,
never complain about that. When you look and you're like, "What the hell's going on
yeah,
here?" And now
this is the game changer.
show us where that is on the big print. One of that, like that crazy one you just zoomed into.
So this section
Yeah.
is looking into this area of pipe with all the different
Oh,
labels.
I get that.
Yeah, see?
So
Different it's different heights, it's different angles.
yeah. So we try to help alleviate, well, take it's basically like taking a screenshot of the of our model and then turning off the labels that you don't want to see. That way you
Yep.
can get the design intent of,
Boom.
the 4-inch is going underneath the 8-inch in certain areas, but then also above in others.
And yeah, this
So
is this is great.
lots of time and effort. And then same for like riser rooms. You can't tell what's going on with all that, you know? So pull it out to the side and do different section views.
Wow.
Front
Incoming
view,
service
side
into the
view.
backflow.
Yeah.
Have this is my east wall, south wall, and then it wraps to the west wall.
Yeah.
So give your drain connections on the back side of the dry pipe valves. We prefab all the outlets, and
Bravo.
Right.
if the
Right.
if the dry valves change elevation, they'll just cut the nipple in the field and call it a day. But everything else is fully fabricated. Um, at this point, this whole job,
Look at the
all
shape of it.
levels are fabricated. And then this is the actual 3D model of the
No
school.
way.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's cool.
there's buses there. Yeah, so you can go right through the
Yeah.
floor and everything. It's probably
Yeah. So we'll go to the riser room in person.
boom. Oh yeah, you pull the floor down. It's all coming back
And
to
we
me.
can turn off the walls. That way you see the riser room as a whole.
So
No.
how much can the fitter see?
It depends.
Can
So we can give them a version of this on an iPad or tablet in the field. Typically, they'd rather just see more robust install prints that have the sectional views, or
Yeah.
Mhm.
more
Yeah.
detailed layouts, especially with pumps. I'll do this, but to a greater extent, I'll do my
This
own.
type of job might be worth the foreman having a laptop.
Yeah, I mean, most
Oh.
of our guys in the field have iPads at this point. They'll be able to pull up
Oh yeah,
prints.
and you can get the app.
Um,
You can get this app. What is it? Bluebeam? Oh no, you're
so
on
this
Auto
is
Sprink, but
this is Navisworks.
oh okay.
There is a version for the iPad. It's nowhere near as responsive as on a full-blown computer.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Um,
Now
doing.
you're saying things that like, oh, I would normally do this. I do this because of this, and then the fitters were like this. Like a lot of things you're saying isn't something that I would imagine a 1 year designer would be saying. It sounds like there's a lot of trial and error, or with the short. Well, you've been doing this what, 2 years?
8 overall for
Eight
design,
overall.
5 for full-blown 3D coordination.
Okay. So who was your mentor
My
that
godfather.
showed you some of these? Okay, so he showed you, hey, don't forget to do this because of this. Because
Yeah,
like
and we also get
that's
feedback
something
from
that
the
a
field.
long-term guy. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
the fitter call as soon as you release it, the fitter calls you right up.
100%. I honestly look forward to those calls. I want to know when I design something if it's not feasible.
Oh yeah, it
Like,
looks
Because
good.
like
So
yeah, us in the
take
field
us
when
to
we're learning all these things,
some close
it,
hits. Take us to some close hits over here near the duck guy. Where
so
were
one
some
of the
problem areas?
issues on this project was we have
Big
a
ass duck in the
staircase
hallway, and they want to
that
take up the
comes
whole
out.
damn thing.
Yeah, we have future connections up on the roof. And with our 6-inch line, in the model, does it fit there? Yes. But then the duct guy installed 2 inches closer to the wall. So
I love
our
that.
guys out in the field were actually laying on top of the ductwork to install the 6-inch overhead.
Oh, those poor
You know,
bastards. They'll get it.
yeah,
They'll
they
get it.
were they were bench pressing some 6-inch up on top of duct, which
They'll get it.
I heard from them, and they were like, "Yeah, it didn't go in per plan." I was like, I unfortunately, that's one of the things where if duct
Man.
installs an inch off, we now have
Or
to
we
figure it out.
we gotta get that pipe up before the duck eye.
Yeah, and so we
Yeah.
have this north run of red pipe comes in and terminates. There's going to be a dry pipe valve there. This blue
Boom.
pipe is then a future dry connection up on the roof.
That's pretty cool. And anyone watching, you can see that, blue is what electrical, the green is the duct, the pink is probably the plumbing, and then the red is fire protection. You got all the trades together, and this is the 3D model to see that it works and see if we can fit everything in a tight building in a tight space.
Yeah, and we luckily with the sectioning tools and stuff, you get to confirm that your roof penetrations aren't going through steel and a lot of bouncing back and forth between this and the actual design program to try to catch as much as humanly possible.
And you could shut all the other trades off real quick, couldn't you?
Yes, I can.
And just see just sprinkler.
If you want to see just sprinkler, my entire building worth of systems
Boom.
once it loads.
There's all the sprinkler pipe. Look at that.
Yeah.
All right, put it in. Looks easy.
Yeah,
I
looks
don't see
easy,
I
but
don't see one leak on there. There's not one leak
nope.
on the plan. There shouldn't be any on the job. Yo, welcome to the
Yeah,
Dope and Tape Show. If you're just joining us, hit the like button. Al, the tin knockers are still going to hang their stuff at the wrong elevation and ask the sprinkler guy to move. It never fails. Every 3D job I've ever been on, it's true. So what happens with me is the carpenters want to fight for their wall tops. They want to put their sheetrock walls up tops
yeah.
before the duck guy goes, because the duck guy goes and then they can't do the tops, and then the duck guy goes and then the tops are done, and then the sprinkler guy's screwed every time.
Yep, that's actually the major story of this job. I took it over from another designer that left the design department 6 months after coordination had started. And he had put very little time into it just due to his schedule. So we were around 6 months behind on this project. So I've been averaging, 60 to 80 hour weeks just working on this project alone, which is not typical.
That's a
Typically, this will be, 8 hours a week for a year.
that's a lot of lines on that thing.
So
A lot of
yeah,
red lines
or
on that paper.
we've caught up in the field. Now we just have to deal with Ryan's monstrosity of conduit down in the basement.
Man,
There's
I can
there's
only
probably 15 miles of conduit down here that wasn't initially supposed to be there. It was all supposed to be under slab.
Oh
So
man, the
of course,
basement.
we got to deal with.
What kind
I
of
haven't
what
gotten
kind of
that far yet,
penetrations
but
you got in the basement? Like, are they gonna be concrete penetrations? I was all parking down here.
yeah, yeah, we'll be doing shields everywhere for hanging.
Do you put them in? You
Um,
putting them in first, or they drill them after?
so right now, basically all the conduit's installed and plumbing. So we're gonna be super late to the game, and they're just gonna
Drill them.
go through and do what they have to
Are
do.
you doing bang it on some jobs?
Uh, Not too much, no. We
Yeah,
usually just
that's
do,
popular with all the other trades.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
real popular for.
We mostly do our bread and butter is, top beam or concrete inserts.
Boom.
Um,
But the whole industry is kind of transforming to the concrete Sammy type deal. I call it a
yeah,
Sammy, but I'm not necessarily saying Sammy brand, but it's always be a Sammy to Bobby. What up, Eric? Michelle, thank you for joining. Oh, excuse me. Chandler,
yeah,
this is awesome. What are the rules for auxiliary drains? If it's over 5 gallons, it needs a drain, Bubs.
yeah. So actually, I have a perfect example of an aux drain
Show
right
us some
here.
auxiliary drains. What do? You leave a
Um,
T?
so
Couldn't you,
zone control
isn't it
comes
true that
from,
like a sprinkler head could be the drain though?
yeah. So you can technically drain through a pendant sprinkler. I typically try to avoid
That was
that
my
just
favorite
because,
thing to ever say. People would be like,
10,
"Oh, it was more than 5 gallons. You gotta do a pick." I'm like, you pull the head."
yeah, and then you're standing on
Like,
a
right?
ladder and
That's
suddenly you
that's
have
my
more than
drain.
5 gallons.
Yeah, well, you
Yep.
always prepare to have like hundreds of gallons, but that's why you have your little.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
show
So
us a couple low points.
zone control is up in this staircase. There's no way anything is ever going to drain back there just due to ceiling heights. So we have our 4-inch first floor main coming over back into the riser room to feed the double height gym.
Some
And
flex
while we're
heads.
coming through, we'll have low point come down, ball valve right into our main drain. That way, in the riser room, you'll pop in. You need to shut down the system. You can drain the zone control for the first floor, the
And hit the
portion
low
that it will
point.
drain, and then hit the low point in the valve room to get the rest of it.
Let's see the uprights above that basketball court right there.
Yeah.
What's up with those babies?
So this is a unique gym. All of the structural members are W24s,
Are what?
24-inch I-beams.
Oh shit.
So
So you had to do
we
each
have protection in every bay,
each pocket.
basically tight to the structure. And then, yeah, since every bay is obstructed, you just put heads in every bay, and
Protect them
it's the
all.
best you can do. And then same for the upper gym as well.
There's a
We
couple
have,
gyms. This is a school?
An upper gym? You're
yeah,
gonna have
upper
a
gym
gym
and
on
lower
top of a
gym.
gym?
Yeah, this is Cambridge,
Yeah,
dog. This is like little
yeah.
Boston.
So this one's the same deal, but just back to back on the same steel member.
At least 75% of the people that are going to work here are going to drive a bicycle to work.
Oh, 100%. Even even the job site parking sucks. It's terrible to get in
I
and out
know.
of.
I'm thinking about that. I'm looking at the size of this place,
Yeah,
and I can only imagine every trade. Like there's probably like 40 carpenters at this place, maybe even
yeah,
more. It's probably 40 plumbers and like 100 carpenters, and they are parking. There's nowhere. They have to all be parking somewhere and riding bicycles.
yeah. There's like 10 parking spaces right here,
Oh,
job site
you
trailer,
gotta be
and then
so
like
important.
25 more spots here, and that's it for the
Oh
entire
yeah,
job.
that's the foreman. That's like all
Yep.
foreman spots.
Yeah. I went for one site visit and they were like, now you gotta move the truck. Like, yep, love it.
Yeah, I love it.
But
Uh,
yeah, we get to deal with a bunch of different dilemmas in construction, specifically,
Was there
my
mechanical?
favorite
Is there a
is
mechanical room on the roof?
penthouse. Gotta
Yeah,
love them,
looks like it.
So we'll go through on this one. I have all my trap bars designed. That's what this blue is. So for the
Oh, the
areas that we
baby blue. Okay.
can't necessarily pick up a top beam, model up our trap bars, get them sized properly, get all the material out to the field. Here we have a roof hydrant on that runs parallel to our 6-inch penthouse main, and then we try to get creative to go around ductwork where we can,
That's some big
you know,
duck work, dude.
backfeed branch lines. So it gets intense, a lot of time and effort gets put into this.
Yeah, I mean, you placed every one of these lines we're looking at, right? Every line, every
Yeah.
main, every hanger, you're making that mark.
Yep. Even under duct coverage, getting that so it drops down between
Oh
duct and
man.
is within 4 to 6 inches, but enough room so that the guys can put on your head cages. So
Okay.
Boom.
yeah,
That's a little gap you're trying to hit with that outlet.
ah, lots of gaps everywhere, Bobby. Never stops. You know, Similar for like stuff like this. Going over to the edge, dropping down all the way because
Boom.
it's greater than 2 feet from the floor.
I put in so
Yeah.
much stuff that just worked, and you're like, damn, it feels good. Like when it just comes together, you just follow your dimensions, and
Yeah. Yeah, this one was fun because we got to do a hanger plan, so it only showed hangers. I can pull that up really quick.
oh, we had to do hangers first.
Yeah,
That started to be my specialty towards the end. All the jobs that I was on, all the hospital work I was doing, I was always like, if I didn't do my hangers, I'd have been screwed. And I was like going in and I'd do like, I could do 90% of the jobs hangers. I would do it at night, and then we would hang pipe during the day.
And you would use a laser?
I would use like four lasers. I'd have all
yeah.
different lasers going at all like one line laser, and then I would have dot lasers to put on the line, and another one going this way. Spray paint, chalk line, clear spray paint.
You got to do those the Facebook video cheats, right? Where you put the pipe up and then you drip wax down it so it falls on the ceiling
Yeah,
tile.
it was. Yeah. Like, what in the world is this?
Yeah.
That's
Like the
so
thing
good.
that a sprinkler you're never gonna see a sprinkler guy or any
Yeah,
tradesman actually do that.
that takes too long. We'd all be covered. We'd all be covered in it.
Yeah, it'd be a shit show for
Okay, so
sure.
we got a hanger
But
plan. This is pretty. I always
yeah.
just. I
So this is
I always did
mostly just for trap
I
bars.
always did hanger plans off of my install prints, dude. And the install prints never even would have hanger marks on them. I would just have install prints and I would just formulate hanger print in my mind and I would be measuring off beams and
Yeah. So we still give dimensions to every
boom.
main branch line, everything, call
Six
out
foot
all the
ten.
pipe labels and stuff. Um, Trying to go around ductwork. This is one of the ones where in the fields, instead of offsetting to our roof location for the duct, it decided to go straight up. And that ran right into the branch line offset that I had done. So in the
Mm,
field, they ended up just cutting that piece a little short or cutting a new piece and going straight through.
boom.
But we try to get it accurate. You put the time and effort in, and
They got
you
it
get the
done.
call from the field. So
That's all right. That only cost them like an hour. They'll be fine.
yeah, but
That's
just
why
try to
they
give the
that's why they call them fitters, not installers.
exactly, and we try to give them as much as we can, though.
Yeah.
Give them notes about why our heads are spaced the way they are, and they're not questioning why we have heads 3 foot 8 apart.
It looks
You know,
good.
that type of stuff. So this is one print of probably like 70 for this project.
Oh
So
my gosh.
adds up real quick.
Yep.
But yeah, this is one I'm proud of. I wish I had been on it from the beginning so we weren't as far behind, but you get some good design from it.
You work a little bit harder when you're playing catch up too.
Yeah. And now this is a newer job that I'm also doing with Ryan. That's the model you saw earlier. This is one of 7 buildings for Cambridge Housing. Basically, what we've done so far is just spotted sprinkler heads to be center of tile where they need to be, drawn up preliminary mains, and then also modeled some of our standpipes and drains going up and down within the building, floor to floor. Zone controls haven't been modeled yet because there's going to be an issue with those, but just going through,
Just plugging away, putting lines on paper, kid.
just plugging away.
Yeah, you said you're doing this one with Ryan. He's referring to Ryan, who was on episode 126. We had episode 126 on Dope and Tape. If you're just joining us, we are looking at prints and models. And this is Jared from the Great Northeast. Schools around here are getting crazy from having better weight rooms than colleges. Indoor football fields are becoming standard. Let's go.
What? Indoor football fields in what, high schools?
Yep. So they never miss a day, Al? Looks like a highway grid in a big city. My favorite aux drains are the ones that run to the outside of the building. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the goal, but it never ends up that way, unfortunately.
That's how we all
You know,
like it.
you always want the water to go outside so you don't have to lug around 5-gallon buckets or the garbage can on wheels.
Yeah,
But
what do you got right there?
Yeah.
Underground? Is that the underground coming in or something? Over on the
yeah,
right?
so orange is all of Ryan's handiwork.
Electrical?
That's all his conduit and electrical. And yeah, this is our underground coming around, picking up a hydrant.
Mm-hmm. Outside PIV.
And then also our riser coming in due to sleeve requirements going past the footing. The sleeve has to come in a certain amount to avoid undermining the footing. So we have our backflow coming back in the room, picking up our shotgun riser. We have our FDC with the full flow test header bypass, drain going out to the outside.
What is it?
Backflow full flow test header. You basically
Backflow, full flow. Oh, look at that! It's to do a forward flush on your FDC.
it's to test the flow characteristics of your backflow for
Oh, okay.
testing.
And you're doing forward flow on your FDC.
Yeah, so basically this is a normally closed butterfly valve.
Wow. Okay.
Open that, goes around the check valve, so you're utilizing the fire department connection piping as your full flow test
I did one
header.
of these in a park in Boston. Yeah, you can test the backflow from outside. It goes right fire department connection, and you guys did it double though. We had 2 of them at a fire department connection and a test connection where you could do forward flow and testing the backflow. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that set up like that.
Yeah, this
I've
is
never seen
kind of
it
like
either.
the cheat method, trying not to do multiple penetrations out of the room.
I
Here,
like
it
it.
wouldn't be the end of the world running 2 lines parallel and out, but
I
where we
like that.
can,
That's a good idea. I mean, you're just using 2 extra elbows and
yeah, cutting 2 T's in
2
and 2
T's, 2
elbows with
elbows, and a
a
butterfly, and
butterfly.
then you save yourself a faceplate, another penetration. You can do
Exactly.
your FDC. What am I thinking of? A back flush, right, Bry?
Well, there's a forward flush on the backflow, but
A forward
and then
flush,
you would
yeah.
have right. Then you can also. It depends on if the FDC is there or if it's a freestanding, because you might have to do a hydrostatic. But anyway, that doesn't have anything to do with that. But you have to flush your FDC and your standpipes.
Boom.
So that makes it easy because flipping a check valve is like 2 hours, about an hour to flip it, make sure it's lined up, hour to put it back.
Yeah,
That's with
is
the
there
burn-in
is
rates,
there
it's like
another
$400.
is there another option besides flipping the check valve?
There is, and Arco actually sells it. It's called a HydroTap.
I got you, big dog. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, let's go.
Tell I can line you right up for it, kid. I know where
I
you. I
saw it
know where.
coming. You threw the ball up. I caught it,
I,
dunked it.
I gotta just lob them to you to make sure you can catch it.
Right.
Or you can test the FDC with the Hydro Tap. Oh, Chandler said it.
Chandler
uh,
uses it a lot.
he
I've seen
loves
some
loves
videos from
that
Chandler.
thing. The one video you did, Chandler. Everyone's like, cut down the bush. He was like in some bushes. Everyone was like, get a chainsaw, cut the bush. Nobody likes
Chandler,
that.
send me some good videos for me to use on Arco's social media. I'll send you some money.
Hell yeah, Chandler. That sounds like a great idea. All right, keep talking. I gotta grab something to drink. I'm dying.
Yeah. So
What a
this is
freaking rookie.
basically it for this project now. This is just early design phase. Uh, Duct is still doing their first pass, trying to get all their ductwork, VAV units, and mechanical piping
Right.
in. Um, this is going to be a multi-year project, going building the building. It's 2 phases. So not too much to talk about this one just quite yet, but we start off, we try to figure out just service coming in, standpipes, get those out of the way so they don't really affect anybody else. And then from there we'll start modeling the rest of the system.
Okay.
Go for it.
When you put these systems in, what are some of the parts that you're like, okay, I gotta slow down and really focus
Typically for projects like this that are residential, sprinkler heads within units are actually one of the most difficult just due to different light fixtures and making sure we're spaced properly around those.
on? Okay.
Architects love their light fixtures now, so it's always a difficult task trying to make sure everything is going to spray properly and not be obstructed by lights. Especially with residential heads, they have different spray patterns than commercial heads.
Right.
Um, Other than that, mostly just valve rooms. Like
Okay.
ones like these are more cookie cutter at this point. It's simple. You have a shutoff for the water department. You have your regular double check valve assembly, and then you have your shotgun riser with a drain. There's nothing too
Hmm.
fancy about it. There's no dry pipe valve, so your FDC can tie anywhere into the system.
Just one
Do you ever
system.
do
Sprinkler
any?
guy's dream.
You ever done any mist systems?
So we don't typically do those in house. We sub those out area that had some historical archives and stuff that required mist systems, just so it didn't do
What?
as much damage.
Right. What would be the reason why you would sub that out when you do all this? Is there something different about it?
Honestly, I've never dug into the design of mist systems or even foam. We probably have the capabilities of doing it. We just never have.
So
We
it's
have,
just outside of your normal scope of
yeah,
designs.
and we have good working relations with the companies that we sub stuff out to. So they'll do
Right.
all of our like pre-action wiring and stuff that'll be in-house, but then foam, mist, those kind of systems will just be like, hey, we got this job in, can you guys do it up for us?
Yeah, but especially if it's something that you're not used to, you're gonna take longer than normal when you could be working on something else.
Oh, Ryan's with
Right,
us.
like I most systems I can lay out a floor easily within a day, especially if it's not with coordination. But jobs like this that have coordination, you could be looking at a week per floor to get through and make sure that you're good. You know, there's a lot
Right.
more that goes into it too. With like on this project, you're looking at 4 foot on center open web joists that are only a foot tall, so you can only get 7 foot pieces of steel in. You're looking at
Mhm.
added fittings, added work for that, added hangers, the whole 9 yards. And that's one of the things that doesn't get looked at during the bid process. So, we're trying to look at these systems, lay them out in an efficient manner, but also keep costs as low as possible.
These guys are lucky because like that's something you had to have learned over the years. I mean, that you can't put a 10-footer in there, right? Or a 10-6.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
learned
that was
you learned that the
uh,
hard way one time. Let's hear that story.
no, my godfather taught me. He
Oh,
uh
okay.
he said
That's what I was
anytime you ever
saying.
see
Good
an
shit.
open web
He's learning
joist,
all these things, and I was
Good
like, man,
shit.
that all those things that you're saying come from a lot of experience.
Yeah, the
I mean,
1 foot
8 years is
joist.
a long time, but some of these things that you're saying is like that's like 20-year experience stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten burned on some projects before with, I when I first started doing this, I was nowhere near as vocal as I am now. I actually had a 30-minute conversation with the construction company today, being like, "Hey guys, you have our basement zone. I can't go above because I'm too tight to the structure or too tight to the slab. Can't even get hangers in. But then I also can't go down because I'm already into a door. That's stuff that other
And it's cool
designers.
that you have this, so you can like screenshot this and then send it to them. They can see
Boom, the
without
model
looking at,
kid.
trying to imagine it in their mind under
The
prints.
drain's even got a relief on it. Is there a fire pump here?
No, this is just a generic.
Oh, okay.
This is actually a Globe UMC model that we have just for modeling purposes. Um, just so that you get the whole picture of it. Because normally when we put valves in, you just get the butterfly with a check. You
Right.
don't get your
The
tamper, you
whole
don't get
thing.
all
It
your
looks cool.
gauges and stuff.
They get the whole
Um,
idea there.
but yeah,
Yeah.
on this project, like this drain wasn't shown anywhere, and we're below grade, and the nearest floor drain is somewhere over in this vicinity. So it's like, are you really gonna run 75 feet of hose to drain it? Not necessarily, but that's an RFI that we sent in today, just 'cause we want to make sure the design team's aware of it.
Boom. Let's poke it out right there. Somewhere. Right on the bottom right here. Come
Oh,
on. You got
it's
it. You got it.
the
Drop
zone
it.
control is here below grade.
What's the door?
So
Oh.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So it's
this is a door
underground.
to the outside. Yep.
Yeah, we can go up a little bit. It's better than nothing.
Yeah, there's just very little pressure going down
Uh,
from
yeah, it's
above,
gonna all be trapped
you
anyway.
know.
Where's the
So
janitor's closet?
there is none.
What? There isn't?
None in this vicinity, at least. I think there's one
Oh,
right next to the
dang.
riser room here. Actually, I can show you. So you have a workshop, doesn't have any floor drains. This is the standpipe going down. This is the rest of the standpipe with our zone control. Ran a calc earlier, make sure our pipe sizes work.
Boom.
Basically
What the hell
just.
does that mean? No idea.
Oh, you should know what this means, Bobby. You must have filled out a placard or two in your time.
Never, bro. There's always somebody for
No?
that. No. They're always like etched. They're always like metal or plastic etched at the
Gotcha.
shop, or it's not me. They send them out, and I always just put
Gotcha.
them on, kid. What am I doing? What am I
Basically,
looking at? Come on.
none of this matters outside of this bottom number. That's the only one you truly care about.
Okay.
As long as this is usually above 7 or above 10, that's all you need.
Okay.
So,
Base of
and
riser
then,
pressure.
yep.
So what numbers do you need to figure this out? Like what numbers do you need to start?
So the numbers we need to start
Pressure?
would be our flow test, which is done at the nearest hydrant. In this case,
Oh shit.
we are several hundred feet away from the actual building. This is where the existing underground is. That's where we did our flow test. All of this is currently being installed by a site contractor.
Hmm.
So we do a flow test at the beginning of a project. In this case, we have pretty decent water because we're near a pumping station. Um, we'll go from the flow hydrant into the building, making sure we account for all the fittings, valves, takeouts, all that good stuff, elevation. In this case, this whole plaza and complex is basically flat, so we don't have any elevation to worry about. Um, from there, we go to our highest hazard. Everything on the upper floors is all residential, so nothing really to speak of in terms of high flow rates or pressure demand. First floor, we have a couple small rooms like workshop, and then offices and common spaces. Still nothing to worry about. Here we have two storage rooms. That's our highest hazards in the building outside of the standpipes. So they have the bike room storage, which is what this room
A
is.
lot of rubber tires in there, huh?
If I don't know. If you
Electric
speak to the
electric electric bikes. What are they? What's the problem in there?
honestly, those questions almost never get asked. It's almost like out of sight, out of mind.
Huh. It's got to be the
Typically
rubber
you'll just
tires,
see
or someone's putting their electric scooter in there or something.
you'll just see bike wrecks. That's all they show.
Mm.
You know, so they might give us an owner certificate claiming what's going to be stored in there. You know, small rubber tires like those used for bikes don't have nearly as much flammability to them as true automotive tires due to size.
Gotcha.
EV bikes definitely could be a concern, but at that point, NFPA doesn't really cover those yet. That's still in the works.
I should know
So
that
we had to,
number. I think it's like 851 8
yeah, one of the newer books that are coming out.
NFPA 851. I forget, something like that.
Yeah, so we're truly just worried with the definition of storage, and in this case, they're definitely not going over 5 feet because you're only going to have one bike per
Yo, what
peg.
up, Paul?
Um,
Jared is one of the
so
best in the business. Yo, what?
nah,
Come on, Ryan. That's it. I love it. Love the support. Oh, Chandler says to ask Darian. She steals all the good videos. Well, no, what we need from you, Chandler, is a video of Darian with the Hydro Tap. You know what I'm saying? Hook it up, dog.
Yeah, get
How,
that,
how do they
Chandler, and I'll still send you the money, not
how do they
Darian.
calc PSI at the base of the riser? Question from
uh,
Big Country.
so lucky for us, I can print this out really quick. Um, this program, AutoSprink, is extremely robust compared to programs like SpringCAD, HydroCAD, and even Revit when it comes to hydraulic calculations. They know based on what your valve setups are where your base of riser is.
Huh.
So it will look at the calculation. Let me just pull it up really quick. And it will look through where your base of riser is to see where your flow rate or flow stops increasing. In this case, it's the 357.95. And then it will see where your valves are located to see what the pressure is. So your 45.14, or sorry, I read one too high, 45.734. And then that's where you get your flow rate minus 250 GPM to get you back down to your 357 because you don't care about your outside hose flow for your base of riser gallons per minute. So kind of does it for you. If not, and this didn't automatically populate with that information, you would just read through your calculation, see where your gallons per minute ends up, and then find what your pressure is at that location. Call it a day.
Boom. I mean, you make
All
it
today.
make it sound easy and you explain it. Did you
Yeah.
get that? Did you get that, Big Country? 855. I was close, Joe. 8 something. Copy that,
Yeah.
Captain Chandler says.
The the most
4 people on
confusing
Twitch. That's pretty cool.
part of calculations is the layout of the remote areas. You know, too frequently you'll see people who have, branch lines 10 feet apart, and then they'll draw their remote area going like this instead of going like this. You always want to run parallel with the branch lines as much as possible, never perpendicular, because this is less taxing than parallel. You know, the heads that locate here on the branch lines are going to flow way more than the heads that are flowing in this line. So in this case, this is the end of the system, so you're just calcing your way back along your cross main. But that's one of the things that's tough to teach to people because they see it as, oh well, aren't all the end heads the most demanding? That's not always the case.
It's more the middle, huh?
Yeah,
You
it's
just
always
you just blasted
dependent.
like 10 branch lines real quick. Like tuk 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 tuk. I seen you.
Yeah, and you can you can do a
Huh?
bunch of stuff too.
I seen that dog. It's like tuk 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 tuk.
You can put in, this program is extremely advanced when it comes to this, but you can do like training trees and such, where this just put in a full riser with a source, valves and everything,
Oh,
and then put in
then
the
what?
remote area.
And you can like drag it yourself and then move like you can then like adjust this pre-design or something.
Theoretically, if you had a perfect warehouse, you could do this instantly without issue.
Huh.
You know, we also have tools for standpipes where you can enter your elevation, your height for how many floors, typical level height between floor
Yo,
levels,
put 100
all of
floors.
this.
Let's put 100 floors.
We'll do,
That's gonna happen. Come on.
let's do 12'6" between floors.
Yeah, let's make a fucking tall building.
1 foot above the finished floor for the coupling.
And this is gonna make a standpipe print.
Not necessarily a print, just a actual standpipe.
Well, let's see what kind of flow we need here. The standpipe wizard. It's pretty
Probably
cool.
like 3 pumps.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot to this program that doesn't get used much. It also gives errors every now and then. Like
Have you heard any rumors of these softwares bringing in AI? I mean, eventually it's going to be there. I mean, hands down.
Yeah, are they gonna be able to tweak
I
it?
haven't
Like,
I haven't heard anything about that. I know the biggest thing lately is Tyco's monopoly over um, water deliver or fluid delivery calcs. They're
look at that standpipe.
finally losing the what's it called?
The patent?
Patent on that. So Autosprink's trying to get into it and all the different companies.
Look at that standpipe, kid. Come on. All right. As soon as you
Yeah.
get it installed, you can go home.
Yeah.
They're probably using Arco couplings.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this
I need some flex couplings and some T's, Bry. All right, yeah. So we don't
I
like
catch
T's,
you.
right? We don't like T's right there. We want welded outlets.
So this is where, like I said, the wizard isn't extremely great because the fittings weren't. I don't have those optimized in this drawing quite yet.
Oh, I got
Typically, like when we go through,
Brian wants us to do it like that, but I want welded outlets.
I love welded outlets.
Brian wants to sell us all them T's. Look at him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
get you a snap drill and then buy Arco tees. You're good to go. Just
sell
hire
them all
just
them
tell the
T's.
apprentice to go.
Yeah, like welded outlet
Use
on
the
the
hole
test header
master
at
to
this
cut
job.
your mechanical tees so they don't get messed up.
That too. Bulk pipe and then just tap the mechanical T's.
Yeah, so like this is typically what you would see. This drawing has it optimized for 2.5-inch pipe to be threaded.
Boom.
On this other drawing, wherever it went.
I like a grooved hose valve.
Yeah, we're starting to use those.
I always caught flack for that, but like just put a 2.5-inch grooved outlet on the standpipe in the stairwell, one coupling, angle it however you want. What's the flack on that? How come we don't see that more often? I always see it like that where I gotta use a nipple, right? Is it cheaper? I bet you the threaded valve's cheaper than the groove valve.
Probably. There's probably a lot more availability for that in the warehouse as well, because it's been standard practice
That has to
for,
be the reason why.
you know, what, 80 years is probably the age of hose valves at this point. But
look at that room, huh?
yeah.
I want to see a photo of that. What are those little, like the little, like black orbs? That's just like a tie down measure? Like that's your tie down location? Or, oh yeah, you're giving measures right there. Up top on the horizontal pieces, like the little black orbs.
Oh, those?
Yeah.
Those are.
Oh yeah, that's your measure.
The cut lengths with size tying to each pipe.
Oh, it just.
So if I turn
only
on
a little orb when you go 3D.
Old pipelines, I like to have creative freedom with my labeling of pipes. So this set of dry pipes that we're getting set sent separately. I labeled fuck with whatever random things afterwards. So just trying to keep the guys on their toes in the fields. They like to see the funny stuff. So
Oh, that's awesome.
but yeah, this one was mostly just because you couldn't really see
Right. If
where.
you all the numbers would be jammed on top right there, so you drag it over to an open spot.
Yeah, so
Let's see.
I
Let's
liked
see your
seeing
let's
the
see your head
board.
symbols. Where's the
Uh,
head legend?
that is on this page. There's a lot of heads for this project.
Let's see what type of symbols you're using.
Do you do test certs, Bobby? Or
I
do you
mean,
have a guy for that?
I've picked them up and dropped them on. I mean, I filled them out, but they're never like they come like partially filled out, if you would. You know what I mean? Most of it's kind of done. I just fill in like and sign my name.
I got you. Well, so we've started doing overall projects, and then breaking it out per zone or per level. On install prints, I'll do per zone, so that when they do testing, they'll be able to fill out the test cert after they're done. Um,
Oh, that's pretty
don't have,
smart.
don't have to worry about counting up
I
heads on a
wanted to look at
drawing.
the symbols you use, because sometimes another thing that a guy without experience will do is use like wonky symbols or some that are like too much the same.
I try to keep them extremely different.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
it depends on the area. You know, sometimes on projects you have too much similarity between areas, but I always try to get creative.
I had one
Um,
job where it was next to every diffuser we had to put we landed next to every diffuser. We had to put high temperatures, but the print was the same symbol, but it just had like a number. Actually, no, I think it had an A. I think it had like a little A next to the exact same symbol, and it was just so hard to see it.
yeah, I know
Some three-quarter heads in there.
a couple of companies around us have started utilizing all
Yo,
intermediate
what's good
heads
with them
for
VS1s? That's the whole. That's because it's a flex hose.
dry
Right.
pendant. Yep, pendant from Victaulic.
Okay, 1 inch, and you calc that, and that's the one that's like pre-calced or no calced or whatever it is.
It is pre-calc.
Correct.
Pre-calc.
There's no equivalent length going from your outlet to the sprinkler head itself. Whereas like most of these 3802s are on a AH2CC flex drop from Victaulic, and those have up to 37 feet of equivalent length,
That's a
depending on how
lot.
many bends go on it.
That's a lot of sprinkler heads right there. 4100. Better get
Yeah,
busy.
100.
this is one
It's
of
a lot.
one of the bigger projects that I'm on currently. I have two 7,000 head projects that I'm currently working on.
Whew.
So
Yeah,
they add up really quick.
the hospital I did had 4600, and it was it took 20 of us like 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a long time, you know. Adds up really quick.
What's the preferred valve or fittings for majority of jobs? Arco fittings with a Viking or reliable riser? I think
So we do Victaulic. Our shop is purely Victaulic as much as humanly possible.
They like
But
to lose money.
we, we have good pricing, okay?
Yeah, and
Um,
the field guys
No,
but
don't
no, I'm
the field
sure.
guys
I'm
don't
sure.
complain. The field guys don't complain about it ever.
yeah, the field guys love their Victaulic stuff. We've done a couple jobs recently with Reliable and Viking, and not as happy with those, unfortunately. But you know, it is what it is. Got to keep the field guys happy because they're the ones putting the work in.
That's it.
You
That's
know,
it.
I'm not
Yeah.
volunteering to go put an 8-inch pipe that curves in a banana-shaped building. That's for sure.
No, which is awesome though. That is so
Yeah.
cool.
Well, you'll draw it. We'll draw it. Is
Oh yeah,
anybody?
I'll draw it till I'm blue in the face,
I
but
mean, a
I
lot
will
of
not
people
put that up.
still.
Holy shit! It's
I
been
mean,
friggin' an hour.
Bobby's favorite coupling
Holy
is
shit!
the
It's
009.
been an hour.
He loves it.
Yeah,
Yeah, the 009 is really good.
I mean, whew, that's a hard number to think on how many of those I put on, but it's like thousands and thousands and thousands.
Yeah.
009s, just boom, boom. You just slap those babies on, roll a couple elbows, you just boom, boom, boom. I don't know. They fly right on, but then like I tag them on Instagram and they don't reshare me, so I'll use an Arco coupling.
Yeah.
909 Vic coupling seems fun to run. The 909?
What is
Nah,
that one?
nah, chill. Isn't that the one you get? You still got to take it apart? Yeah, 009. There you go, kid. There you go. 009. Boop. They just popped together. I can't believe that's already been an hour. I was just gonna ask if anybody's got any questions, but I'm about to tell you all, guys, have a good night.
That
Oh.
flew by.
Yeah, so NFPA 855 is the standard on lithium batteries. Or
I don't
that's
know right off the top of
or
my
that's the
head.
standard of, yeah, I think lithium battery.
Stationary energy storage systems.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
That's what
I
I'm
remember
looking at
talking
right now.
about that.
Yeah, I know with this school that has the future wet and dry connections, they actually had
Oh
um
shit.
pre-designed.
Is Daddy Dave. Yo, what up, dog? Long time no talk, kid. Why aren't we using 200 everywhere instead of just commercial? Is the response time within seconds of 155?
Yeah, per code you could technically put intermediate heads, which are 200s, everywhere within
Why do
most
people use?
buildings.
That's a great question. That is a damn good question, Dave. Why are why do we use 155? I feel like on one job it was all 200s and they were nervous of like the heat. Why?
Yeah,
What's with the
standard
155?
standard industry practice. It's been done for, when did the 155-degree pendant and upright get put out? Like early 1900s, and it hasn't changed since. Outside of going from,
We can put some
you know,
200s and it will still put the fire out, and we don't have to worry about accidents, you know?
yeah, and you can put your heads right next to light fixtures, heat elements. Don't got to worry about it anymore.
Paul says I'll stick to the field work with like a mind blown emoji. I'd like
Yeah, this is
286 for a
way above
standard.
me.
What's up, Chandler? Now you're pushing it. Now you're pushing it, kid. That was excellent. That was I was really into it. I didn't think
Mind blown is really
I
into.
thought
I
that
mean,
was like a half an
that's
hour.
I was waiting
that's
for
so
more wows from
much.
Brian.
Yeah.
I kept it together. I counted 4.
Oh, did you say
Ah, that's
wow
not
four?
bad.
Did you say it 4 times?
Yeah, I was counting when I said it, and when I would say it, I'm like, dang it, and I freaking said it again. It's like Bobby's boom, boom,
Boom.
boom.
Let's go. I got a couple things I say.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Dave is muted. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Um, don't forget about. All right, what are we gonna do here? Let's stop screen sharing. End this screen share real quick. Can I end it or you have to end it? Boom. This will stop others from screen
That's a
sharing.
great
Do you want to
question.
continue? No.
I think
Boom.
I stopped.
Stop sharing. There we go. Bam.
Got it.
Let me move the chat over. I had to adjust a couple things for that. Thank you so much for joining
What
us.
hat is that, Bobby?
This is the hat of the month
That's a
from
cool
Troll.
hat. That's a cool hat.
I signed up for a hat of the month and a tee of the month, and it comes out. It shows up. It's so cool to show. My wife thinks that I'm like ordering stuff, but I already paid for it. It comes every month. It's a good deal, and it keeps me in that new Troll stuff. You know, you always get a new tee. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this, I think, awesome episode of designing and coordination. Big, huge shout out to Jared, and check out our sponsor if you guys want to visit learning.firetech.com, or if you want to buy some dope and tape merch. Our website is just up above that. Next time we go live will be next Tuesday. And who do we have on, Bry?
I'm not sure.
We have
You got the calendar.
Brothers Fire.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be an awesome one.
We have
Okay, cool. I'll reach out to him
Brothers
tomorrow.
Fire. That'll be a good episode to look forward to. Be our first day back from Memorial Day weekend. So also, I hope everybody has a great weekend, enjoyable. Take some photos, take some videos. Don't forget, Bobby, I got to dismantle some of a triple F pipes today. Luckily, the system is just contaminated, not currently a foam system, but sure as hell that water foamed up. Damn! You got some pictures? Thank you. I learned something new. Awesome. That's cool. I like to read that. Thank you. We can thank Jared for that. Thanks, Jared.
Yeah, anytime.
Thank you.
Chandler says best episode so far. Damn, Chandler.
Whoa.
We might find out. Might got a new designer in Chandler. We might have to let Chandler run free on Auto Sprint for a little bit. See what he can do.
Hey, I'm hiring.
Are you hiring? Wow. So
always hiring designers, dude.
so am I. I need foremen and fitters. Holler.
Yeah,
Holler
it's
back.
rough right now.
It is, but nobody wants to
You-
work.
Yeah, or you get all those 18 and 19-year-olds that want to be on their phones every 2 seconds. It's
Yeah,
great.
they want a
And
lot.
There's
They
no
want a
in
also
lot of
want to
between.
get
money.
paid.
They want a
Yeah, they
lot
want
of
to get
money.
paid like 10-year
Yeah.
amounts.
Yep.
Don't-
Yep, it's
Oh
lovely.
shit. All right, guys.
Uh,
Everybody, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We're growing. Look at it. 1.12. It says. Let's keep it going up. I actually just posted another General Air, the recap video for General Air. It's 4 or 5 minutes. Please go watch it. Jared, thank you so much.
yeah, of course, anytime. I'd gladly would join again.
Brian,
It's a great
handsome as
time.
ever. Look at you go,
Good to see
kid.
you, Bobby.
All right, everybody. Thank you.